Hello, guys, and welcome back to our podcast. I think this will be a really good episode, really heartfelt, feel good. I think we all need a little bit of that in our life, to not think about work, to not think about social media, not think about things that might stress us out a little bit, even though we love them. So we're going to be talking about therapy. We both have been to therapy, love therapy. I know it's changed my life.
Same.
I think, you could probably say the same. We love therapy. We're big stands for therapy. So we want to share things that we have heard in our therapy sessions that have changed the way we look at different things, our perspectives. And we asked on Instagram to submit, if you're comfortable, things you have learned in therapy. And of course, all names stay anonymous.
Yes.
But this will be a really good episode. So if you think this is something you'll align with, stay with us. But we're going to do our weekly favorites first, of course.
Amazing. Okay, wait, weekly favorite. I had mine in my head. Oh, wait, I remember. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, I got my hair done. I went more dark. I'm trying to stop coloring my hair. And so my goal is just go my natural color. And as much as possible, just like stop doing my hair and just let it grow. And I'm on my hair regrowth journey.
Well, it's so pretty. I just put my hair up to yours. It's like different undertones. Like mine's like more warm.
Yes.
But like the shade is pretty close. Like I think your roots might even be a little darker than my hair.
No way.
Look at this.
Oh,
okay,
I can't
maybe
see.
It's like the same shade, just different tones.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it looks good. I like it.
Thank you.
You can rock all the hair colors.
Thank you. Someone, I think it was like literally last week or 2 weeks ago, someone's like, Alita, are you going to go darker? I was like,
Someone did ask
do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I did say my goal is to go back to my natural hair color. So here we are. We are inspired. But I go see Ashton. If you're here in Arizona, you guys need to go see her. It's Hair by Ashton, I believe, on Instagram. She has been doing my hair for almost this last year and really is just awesome. She works at Sims Salon. She does like a suite rental situation there and she has an amazing team. So if you guys are interested, go check her out. What's your weekly favorite?
Did you know I was in hair school with her?
I did not know that.
Yeah, we were in the same class.
Did you know I went to high school with her?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Oh my gosh, small world.
I have like so many pics with her from when I had like platinum hair.
I seriously envy you. Like you can really, every hair color I've seen on you looks good and natural.
You're so nice.
I'm so
Thank
for
you.
real.
Oh, it didn't look that natural, but it was, I don't think it looked terrible, but it definitely like wasn't my best look yet, you know? But it's fine. I'm trying to find a picture of bleach blonde Alita.
Yeah, I want to see. When were you bleach blonde? Was that high school?
No, it was like right after high school. I just like really started going ham on my hair and went super, super, super blonde. Like
holy cow.
Super blonde. Okay, I wonder.
Wow, show the camera. That is like really blonde.
So this was March of 2016. I hope you can see it. But my hair was so stinking blonde.
Wow.
And then
that's like Barbie blonde.
Oh yeah. And like Ashley and I, Justin Bieber concert.
Oh, I would sell my right toe to go to a Justin Bieber concert. Holy
like,
cow.
Very bright.
You are a blondie blonde girl.
Yeah. So I used to just have super light hair.
But you look so cute with it though too.
Thank you. I really believe it's because my dad is Swedish that like I can kind of do the blonde or the brunette from my Spanish mother.
From Spain. Yeah. You pull both.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Thank you. Okay, what's your faves?
Okay. My weekly favorite. This is actually an Alita original. I learned this from Alita, so credit to you.
Thanks. What is
I've been loving Giggles.
Oh yes. Okay.
The Better For You Skittles. It's
a
good sweet treat. I'm like trying to eat healthier snacks because I'm addicted to Cheez-Its and cookies.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to snack on things that are like better. So like I got like, Chomps. Chomps are, we love Chomps, but also like I need a sweet treat as well. So I got the Giggles and I've been loving them. They're so tasty.
Amazing.
And Jason loves them too.
Wait, did I already ask you if you like the sour ones as much?
I've never tried sour. I didn't know they had sour.
Okay, the green bag. The green bag.
Okay, I will be purchasing.
Yeah, and then put them in the fridge.
Ooh.
They're so much better. Okay, argue. Do you like candy better cold or warm or like room temp?
Like what? Like sour, sweet
Any
candy? I can't say I've ever put my candy in the fridge, but I think I'd like it because I prefer cookies cold.
Okay.
Like I prefer a chilled cookie, so I probably like that.
In my opinion, everything is better cold if it's a sweet. Like I don't care what it is. It's better cold in my opinion.
Yeah,
like the cookies
get behind that.
from freaking
Swig?
Yes. Like
I
give it
had
to me
some chilled
ice.
cookies today.
They're so freaking good. So that's my opinion.
No, I agree. I like it. And I do like warm cookies too. I just prefer them chilled because also like the chocolate chips don't get messy on my fingers. And then I'm not like licking.
Yes. Warm cookie, cold ice cream on top.
Ooh, a Pizookie.
Yeah. I feel like there's a bazillion names for that thing.
A Pizookie?
Yep.
Pizza cookie?
Uh-huh.
What else is there? What do they call it? There was like a lawsuit
Cookie
with oreganos.
Oh.
Because they were the original Pizookie, but then not a lawsuit, but then someone patented the name Pizookie, so they had to change it to pizza cookie on their menu. Because I remember I asked them, so I'm like, why did you change it from Pizookie to pizza cookie?
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's because like someone like did a trademark or whatever.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Wait, what's a skookie?
I think that's just a different name for it.
It is? Where does this come from?
Scoop the ice cream.
Scoopy cookie.
No, but have you ever had a slutty brownie?
Oh, is that the one like where you intermingle a cookie and a brownie?
I do brownies, cookies, and Oreos.
Oh, yum.
Really good.
Yes, I've had that. It's so good. Oh, love. Okay, so is that all your weekly faves?
Yes.
Love. Okay.
Yes, I can talk about sweet treats all day, but what are your updates?
Salt and Straw is one. Did you go to Salt and Straw yet? The ice cream place in Agritopia, or not Agritopia, in the Epicenter?
No, but
oh my gosh.
when Emily was in town, I took her to Air Guitar and we went to Scoop Wells and got like the cookie dough ice cream. But I've not been there. It's right by.
It just opened up like 2 days ago.
Or is it like which side is it on?
Okay.
Is it by Joe's Farm Grill?
Closer. Yep, that way.
Okay.
But it is next to what's the one that has the pig on the outside? Okay, wait. You know the toy store that's in there?
No.
Why can't I think of the name?
I don't really go in there a lot. I only really go over there for Joe's Farm Grill, Air Guitar.
It's kind of by Spinato's.
I know where Spinato's is.
It's kind of by Spinato's,
Okay.
like just a little bit further west.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just like a few stores down. But it's really good and I just love it. They have like really fun flavors.
Ooh, okay.
So that's one of my updates. We also got new tubs here at Flourish and they are freaking awesome. They're more of like a basin rather than like a bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
So you can like squat in it. You can actually fit 2 people in it, which is really cool too. Like they are so deep. I think they have like 32 more gallons of water in them than our previous ones, which is insane.
Whoa.
I could be completely wrong, so don't quote me on that, but it holds a significant amount more water. Which was just, I don't know, awesome. So
That's really cool.
yeah, that's kind of the biggest updates that we've had thus far. Yeah, that's gonna be all. What are yours?
I have to tell you, last time I came here to Cold Plunge, it was a week ago. Sydney was up front.
Yes.
And after, like, every time I cold plunge, like, here's the thing. I can't just ease into it. I can't dip my feet in because the second my pinky toe hits the water, I'm not doing it.
Nope.
I just need to like go in all the way. So I like fall in. Like I get up there and I'm like hovering above the water with my arms and legs holding me above, and then I just like drop in and I always like splash a little. I'm so sorry. But I left and I was like, Sydney, I'm like so sorry. Like if I'm like so loud in there, I don't know how to get in there gracefully.
Yeah.
And easy. And luckily she didn't hear anything. But I like, how do you get in without like, do you just step in?
Yeah. So I will show you afterwards with these new tubs. There is actually like a platform that you sit on first.
Oh,
like you hop
cool.
up on the platform and then you get into the water and then you just like stand in it, turn, sit.
Okay.
And so it's much easier to get in and out than the other tubs were. That's why we wanted to upgrade these tubs, is because it's kind of difficult to get out of those tubs, like when you have to lay down in them.
Yeah.
And also these ones have like a burst mode on them, so you can push a button and then like it turns into like a jacuzzi of cold, and it's so painful. But anyways, these ones are much easier to get in and out of.
Yeah.
But whenever I get in, I just like one foot, next foot, sit, chill. Like
maybe one day I'll be able to get to that level. I like have to do it all by the element of surprise.
That's hilarious.
I know. I'm so sorry.
That's
You're
fine.
gonna ban me from your
No.
wellness area.
Did you see the TikTok that Sydney posted of her literally like jumping into the cold plunge?
Yes, that was so
Water
funny.
everywhere
With the robe on.
with the robe on. It was so funny. I'm like, that needed to go viral. I'm mad that that's not viral.
The commitment to the bit is, I applaud her.
Like her face looks stunned.
yeah.
Just so terrified.
Yeah. No, I'm proud of her for doing that. That's impressive.
These girls and their TikToks. So funny. Okay, well, any other updates?
Yes. So, funny story. So, they're building a one-stop nutrition next door to Revive.
Oh, nice.
And I don't want to sound rude, but they've been rude. Not the ones that the workers.
Yeah.
The workers have next door, because they're so loud. And there have been several times where we're in relaxing facials and we go over and we're like, hey, can you please like be quiet? And like, they haven't always been the nicest about it. And so we've had to like, it's just been kind of annoying. Anyways, the other day I was trying to make a video at Revive, and we have a little microphone. I was going to make like a talking video with a microphone, but it's Bluetooth. So I'm trying to connect my phone to this Bluetooth microphone, and it's like not connecting. So I'm like, what the heck? So I'm going through my phone, selecting different Bluetooths, and I recorded a video on my phone, and I was like testing. And then I was like listening to my phone. I'm like, why can't I hear myself? So I start turning it up. I hear my voice next door where the construction workers are. I connected my phone to their speaker.
Oh my gosh.
So I played it probably like 10 times, going testing on repeat. And there, I'm like, they were probably so confused.
Wait, that's
But I'm
hilarious.
like, I should connect my voice on there and be like,
be quiet.
please be quiet. Respectfully.
No, seriously.
Like, please be quiet.
Can you guys, so is it like full construction still over there, or are they now like actually working out of there?
No, it's still construction. And
Okay.
they like drilled a hole in our wall and denied it. Yeah. No, one of our treatment rooms, there's like, you could poke your finger through. We looked through and we could see them working through there.
Stop.
And we told them,
Peeping
we're
Toms.
like, you poked a hole through our treatment room. Like, there's a bunch of dust all over the counter, like from the wall. And they're like, oh, that wasn't us. Riddle me this. Why is the dust coming out that way then? Like,
Literally.
that makes no sense. And it's like all fixed now, but I'm just a brat about it because I'm like so sick of it.
No, seriously.
And
Has Marky like talked to her landlord about it?
yeah.
Okay, good.
And the landlord said they're not allowed to work during work hours, but they keep coming back during work hours.
Oh my god.
We keep texting the landlord.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Which, like, I think the
Sheesh.
landlord is like talking to them about it and she's handling it. But like, it's been
Oh my gosh.
so annoying. And I keep
That
having to
is so
apologize to my
terrible.
clients. And it's especially bad too, because sometimes they'll like walk in the vents above us. And I don't know what they're doing above us, but we hear them having conversations and they're cursing, like profusely
Oh.
cursing. And I've had some clients come and be like, who are those men? Like, I'm kind of uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
That's frustrating.
you guys, like,
Ugh.
stop yelling, stop cursing at
I
each
hate
other,
that.
turn down your music and turn off your drills until work hours are over. Like, please.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, I'm over it. Like,
No, seriously. I would be
I'm
too.
nice about something until it goes too far, and it's just gone too far. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the
I
worst.
know, but I just thought it was so funny. I connected to their speaker, so
Well, now you know which one to connect to when
I
they're
know.
bugging.
Now I know if I want to say hello.
We love.
But anyways, yeah, that. And then also, I'm not going to go too into depth in it, but I'm getting a nose job. And if you've been following the podcast for a while, this won't come to a surprise to you because
Yeah.
I've been talking about this for years. I've been saving forever. But I mean, I feel like everyone kind of gets it. Life is expensive, so I haven't been able to yet, but I will talk more about that later. I have a consultation coming up and I am like squealing out of my mind, so excited. Like, this isn't just like a spur of the moment thing. This has been something that I've like wanted forever and ever. So that's also very exciting. And that has been something I've been like looking at, sending inspo. I sent my current nose and profile and front on to my surgeon.
Oh, good.
And then I sent him my inspo, and I hit like his work is my inspo. So it's perfect.
That's amazing.
Like, that is one thing too, because I like am very intrigued by plastic surgery. I always have been. I listened to a plastic surgery podcast, the Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery podcast. It's really interesting to me. Just like a bunch of different surgeries. Like, I love hearing behind the scenes. And the doctor is even saying, he's like, when looking for a surgeon, like, you have to look at their noses. Like, you can't go to them and expect them to create your perfect nose. Like, their work is their work. Like, you don't go to Van Gogh expecting a painting that looks like Monet. Like, they have their styles. And so I'm just really excited, and we'll share more details further down the line, probably after my consult, but I'm very excited.
I'm excited for you.
And now it won't matter who has which side. Well, actually it doesn't matter anymore because you have your cutie nose, but like in Vegas, I won't care as much.
Let me tell you, like, that alone was worth the price that I paid for my nose. Like, just to not have to, like, I don't know, like, feel as self-conscious, because it's something like, again, I've always felt too with my nose, just like one profile or the other, that has just bothered me of like, oh, I can't be on this side for pictures, or I don't want to be in a picture at all, or whatever it is. And so I'm excited for you. It's going to be life-changing.
Yes. No, it totally is. And like, the way I've been trying to, because you know, husbands, they're so sweet. They're like, you don't need it. You're beautiful. Family says that. But the way I justify it is, I'm like, okay, men, you will go pay $100,000 for a car that's not going to last you your whole life. I'm going to pay 15 grand for a nose or a boob job or a tummy tuck or whatever plastic surgery, facelift, for anything that's going to boost your confidence and last you a lifetime.
Right.
Like, a new nose is going to last you a lifetime. A new chin implant, like, whatever it is you get, like, that's what I love about it, is like, it really is so cheap for what you're getting, because it is a lifetime thing. Like, it's expensive. Right. I'm not going to say it's cheap. It's very expensive. Yeah. But it's not like something that's not going to last you a long time. Like, cars are going to die out. Yeah. There's always going to be something bigger and better, but your confidence, that's like a forever thing. And I think that's really cool.
Right. Well, and I know, like, for even like in my case, for some people, they literally can't even tell. I have some clients that are like, wait, you already did it? What the heck? I didn't even notice. I love that. Thank you. That is literally a compliment. Because I didn't like hate the way that I looked before, but I definitely just feel more confident in the way that I look now, because it's something that I cared about, something that I noticed. And I feel like as long as you're doing it for that reason, like, it is worth the dime that it is, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, for example, I was talking to Ryder and he's like, well, first it's the nose and then it's this and then what? And I'm like, sorry, not all of us are born like a Greek god. I'm sorry. Like, I have insecurities, something you've never felt in your life. You're welcome. Like, be blessed, stay blessed, because not everyone feels that way all the time. So anyways, I think it's worth doing if it makes you more confident. And especially after the nose, like, everyone says the nose is like the most scary, or like that it's most painful of any of like, or of most plastic surgery. If you have a good experience, literally, it's hard not to get sucked into what will I do next?
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. Like, I can see that. And like, I think also too, like, a good point to make is that it's not like, don't go do surgery just to do surgery, but like, if it's something that bothers you and you can change it, then I think that's cool. But also, like, I do think it's good to have like a moment where you're like, okay, let's not alter everything.
Yeah.
Like I still want to look like me.
Totally.
I want to be me. I just want to fine tune some things that have bothered me my whole life.
Yep. And I think that's like the perfect mindset. And at least in my opinion, like, or in my experience, I definitely, like, right before doing it was hesitant. I'm like, oh crap, like this is a permanent change. Like I can't go back.
Yeah.
I can never go back to what it originally was, because every minor tweak that you make makes another minor tweak, right? Yeah. Even if you try to reverse it. So I think that too, it's like you're humbled throughout the whole process and like little pieces. But at the end of the day, I think that most people have a good experience with it, as long as like they have a good surgeon. And if it's what people want to do, let them do it.
Yeah. I went down a rabbit hole. I'll say this really quick. I know we're yappers, guys. I'll say this really quick. I was on TikTok and saw a girl that she's like, I'm outing my surgeon that I feel like screwed me over.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that?
I think I did.
Yeah. And like, I think it's a good learning experience, but it makes me so sad for her. But like, she said that she feels like he like totally blindsided her. And like gave her you have to like book right now or else you're not going to get in for a time. Like that scare tactic.
That's
and
rude.
I think that's like something to be aware of. Like if they're giving you scare tactics, like run. Yeah. Because the right surgeon shouldn't pressure you to do anything.
Mine literally told me, don't book this today. Like after our consultation, he said, do not book this today. Like I want you to go home and sleep on it for at least 2 weeks before you book your appointment. And I did. And I like went back and forth. And like he was booking months and months and months out. And so I was like, crap, like I really want to get in soon. And so anyways, but I took my time and I just said like, whatever the next availability is, let me do it. And then even like, I think I had 3 or 4 different calls with them leading up to it, like making sure that it's what I wanted to do. Yeah. So, and I know like with mine too, he said it was a very complex surgery. And so it's something like, it could really benefit me, but at the same time, it's a lot of structural change to my face. Like whether or not you can see it, there is. So anyways, I really like that about him, because he very much told me like the initial thing that he said to me was, nose jobs have the least satisfactory rate out of any plastic surgery.
I believe that. I think because people come in with set expectations.
Well, and everyone heals differently. Yeah. Like, and I think too, with your nose, like yes, you can have like an inspo, but don't expect that to be your nose.
Right. It's the center of your face. It's going to look different.
Well, and like what you're starting with is different than what someone else started with. Yeah. And so you can't say like, this is the outcome that I want for my nose. And that's like, I didn't have, at least like for my surgeon, because I didn't know what he could do. Mm-hmm. I was just like, I just want it to look better than it does and have more functionality. So do what you got to do. Yeah. And I think that even that mentality, at least for myself, was positive, because whether my nose looked the exact same as it did prior, I don't care, as long as I can breathe better was like my number one thing. Right. You know? Right. So anyways, it's exciting though.
It is.
I'm excited for you.
It's very exciting. Thank you. I like randomly throughout the day will squeal and be like to Jason, like, can you believe I'm getting a nose job? Like,
it's insane.
I've been talking about this forever. Like, can you believe I'm going to get one?
And hopefully we get to have our plastic surgeon on the podcast.
Like, I was going to add something else, but I can't remember. So should we get into
the episode? Let's do it.
How far are we? We are
like 24 minutes in.
Okay.
Let's get started. Also, sorry, I'm like not wearing a bra. Maybe I should put my hair in front. Okay, so we're going to go over some things that y'all have learned in therapy. And I think that this is just going to be so good. It's like a little free therapy session, just giving us all good reminders of life and things that we can learn, things that we can take away. So this first one says, let's see. I'm starting with this page.
Okay, let me pull that. Got it.
It says, my trauma affects my thoughts and I am more than my thoughts. I love that.
That's really cute. Sorry, I like sometimes my brain has to think about something for a minute.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, I like this one. It's okay to say no.
That's a hard one.
That's really hard.
So good though. How important a consistent routine is. I feel like this one is so common. Like people who have impeccable mental health have impeccable routines.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would
like
agree.
we are routined people or beings or whatever, animals, and we just thrive on those.
Yeah. What happens if you just say no? My therapist told me that 3 years ago, and I think about it every day.
Oh,
Another no. I like it.
Yeah. You can't control how people act, but you can control how you react and learn from it.
Oh.
That's good.
The way people treat you is only a reflection of how they feel about themselves.
Yeah, that reminds me of the quote that like what people say about you says more about them than what it does about you.
Mm-hmm. I think that can be hard too to remember in the moment.
Yeah.
If someone is treating you poorly. I think that's hard in the moment to like not take it so personally, but
well, and the quote too, like hurt people hurt people.
Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah. Oh, is it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to talk myself through situations that would have given me a panic attack. That's amazing.
Oh, that's so good. I'm sure a lot of people who've been to therapy know this, but for my anxiety girlies out there, one tip my therapist gave me, sorry, that just reminded me, but one tip my therapist told me is with anxiety, at least for me, I feel it in my gut. I feel it in my stomach. And so she told me to stretch out my stomach and to take up space. And also, anytime I've had a panic attack, my mom taught me, she's like, do your taps. Oh, yeah. It's okay. And she'll come in and help me. And like, I'll sit and like tap my forehead. If you're looking at the camera, you can see. And I'll do my taps like this. And it just kind of helps like recenter you.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of my anxiety girls know that. But if you don't, that's a good tip that also I learned that I really liked.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Okay. I haven't gone, but I know I need to so bad. I need online recommendations as soon as possible. Okay.
Message me.
Yeah. We both have therapists we love.
Yes. Consistency in having my routine calmed my anxiety. Another routine one. Love.
Okay. So far what I'm getting with this, say no. It's okay to say no. Consistency and routine.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Next one. Oh, boundaries. I think that's a hard one.
It is so hard. It's hard to like establish them if you haven't really had them before.
Have you read the book Boundaries?
Yes. It's a long book. It's a good book. Wait, is it the same one? The one that has a red?
It has the red line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I haven't read that, but I really want to.
Add it to the list. Okay. Another one says how powerful positive self-talk is.
Yes.
That is so true.
Yes. Daily affirmations. Okay, next one. I don't know if you count yoga as therapy, but I had an instructor teach me to think where in the room is the problem. Almost always it's not, it's in our minds and we hold it in our bodies. So I connect to that part of my body and release it through breath work, and I always feel so good after.
I love.
That's
so
really good. That's really good. That counts as, I would count that as therapy. I think working out is a form of therapy. It's a different form of therapy, but I fully would agree that that totally is. And when we did our vinyasa yoga class a couple weeks ago or like a month ago,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while. What she said something about like, oh, what did she say? I think I wrote it down in my notebook. She said something about like something about the release of it. And it, okay, I'm going to come back because I can't remember what it was, but something about releasing the negative energy. And it was a quote I really liked, but I'll come back with that.
Amazing. Okay. Next one. Let me pull this one up. Okay. It says, forgiveness is solely for you and your peace. It doesn't excuse a person that did you wrong, but it allows you to heal that broken part of you. Crying. I love that.
That's really good.
So we're like going back and rereading and reflecting as
yeah, sorry, no, that's me. My brain, I'm the type of person that like when I read something deep, I have to reread it a few times to really take it in. But no, that is so true. Forgiveness really is for you.
Totally. Okay, personal notes.
Cute.
These are some things from us that we're also adding to this.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to start?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. This one I've talked about forever. So again, if you've been listening, you know I've talked about this. Let them theory. I've talked about this a million times, and it started trending on TikTok, which I'm really glad because it changed my life last year when I was in the pits of my mental health. And it's Mel Robbins. You should listen to her podcast. Mel Robbins and why am I blanking on his name?
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty. I love them. They're really good, feel good. But this one was Mel Robbins, and she just basically talks about let them. If your friends hang out and don't invite you, let them. Don't force them. What's another? Just different things that like are so upsetting when you try to control that situation. Just let them. And once you realize you can't control everything. I don't know. That was just like a big epiphany for me when I heard that is I'm like, oh, let them. Because for me, I have anxiety like, oh, people are going to listen to the podcast and hate me.
Yeah.
Oh, people are going to do this. But I'm like, after hearing that, it's like, okay, let them.
Yeah.
If they don't like me, let them not like me. Like you have no control over that. So why are you going to punish yourself over it?
Yeah. So good.
That's one of mine. What's yours?
Okay, this is one I actually just learned last week because I was doing my therapy call and I was telling my girl, her name's Tiffany, I was like, I feel like my life is always chaos. Like all the time, it always has been ever since I was a child. I have always lived in chaos. There has never been a moment of just peace, quiet, where I wasn't chasing the next thing. And I noticed that once my life starts to slow down, I'm like, I'm getting baby hungry. I want to start a new business. I want to get a new laser. I want to do this. I want to do this. Like once I start feeling peace or calm, I chase the next thing. And it's not that like, gimme, like I want new things. It's like, I need a level of chaos in my life to stay sane, it seems. And I was like, it's so annoying. Like it's one of the things that I hate about myself is like that I always am, I'm going to like in quotation say high strung in that way. I make myself busier than I want to be. And I hate that because then I think that people think that I'm too busy for them and people don't ask me for help because they think I'm too busy. And I never want to come off as like I'm too busy to do something for someone else or I'm too busy to hang out with you or I'm too busy to do this because that's not. And I prioritize people if I'm invited to things and if people need me. And I it's like the perception of what other people think of me really bothers me when it comes to being busy. I don't know why. But she was saying that this is a universal feeling that people, you're either yin or yang, you know? Is it yin, yang, yin, yang?
I think it's yin and yang.
Yeah, that's what I have written down, but I don't know if that's right. Yin and yang.
I think that's right.
Okay. So what those mean? Do you know what they mean?
Yes. Isn't one, I know one's like, I know they're opposites.
Yes.
I forget what the exact meanings are.
I think at least to what she had told me, and maybe this is like her own theory of it, but it's chaos and order. And so she's like, in both sides, there are both chaos and order. Like for the people who experience or who are very chaotic, they have a little bit of order, and people who are very ordered have little bits of chaos.
Yeah.
And she said, but you need both. Like in order to be productive, you need both. Like there's not such a thing as just pure order and everything is great. But she said, when your life feels so chaotic, you need more order.
Yeah.
So she's like, put the energy of the chaos that you want or that you have, make it order because that's what your balance is craving is the other. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just completely put all of that chaos energy into making it order for flourish and just like become very hyper organized with everything here so that I don't feel like it's as chaotic as it actually is. And so that like helped me because I just think of different aspects of my life. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just so chaotic. And the reason why it feels chaotic is because there's no order. So anyways, I just thought that was interesting.
No, that really is interesting. Yeah, because I know you think about the yin and yang sign, like everyone knows what that is, but it's like, no, but like the meaning of it, because that's really cute. I like that.
Like there's pieces
there's
of
a little
both.
bit of each. Yeah.
And she said that most partners are one of each.
Opposites
And Ryder goes,
attract.
what do you think I am? I'm like, don't even. Like, you're literally the most particular, orderly person I've ever met in my life.
That's so funny. Now I'm thinking about me and Jason. I don't know. We actually are pretty similar. We're
You
like
guys
so
are
similar but so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love to have like an interpreter of some sorts come read us.
Yes.
Like
I would love
a zodiac person to read our signs, or like just something like that.
Is that like the people who do like birth charts? Is that considered like a zodiac person?
I think it might be. I don't
Okay.
know.
Then yes, if you know someone, send them our way.
Yeah, please. But I really like that.
Love. Well, what's next? What else have you learned?
Okay, so I'm gonna jump off of what you said because it reminded me of something I learned in therapy. So that conversation just reminded me.
Yeah.
So I think getting to know yourself firstly is so important. I think with like big life changes, like we can go through like, who am I? Like crises like that. Like, who am I as a person? What do I like to do? Like when big events happen and it changes our routine. And so when I first went to therapy, my therapist had me fill out, it's a legit test that was created by a ton of psychologists. And there's a big book actually on it. And she said, before we even start, I want you to take this test and we're going to tell you a personality type. There's a bajillion personality types. It is very particular. It's called, I believe if you Google 21 personality test or something like that, it's a hefty test, but it's really neat. It's a legit test that psychologists put together so you can get to know yourself better. And I know I found the right therapist because once I finished that test, she looked at me and goes, I knew you were going to be that because I'm the same one.
Oh my gosh.
And so
Cute.
I just feel like she really gets me as a person, which is really cool because I mean, not everyone's going to be for you. And that's another thing too. If you are someone looking for therapy, you might go through a couple therapists. I know I did that. I went through 2 therapists before I found this one that I love so much. And she's my girl. Like I love her so much. And so I think that's also a really cool thing you can do too. Is take a personality test and get to know yourself first before jumping into things.
I agree.
So that's one thing I learned. What's your next?
Okay. So the type of therapy that I've been in for like the last year-ish is called trauma integration therapy. And it has been the most productive and healing type of therapy that I've ever done in my life. And one of the parts of it that I really love is you get to kind of have like the out of body experience of showing up for yourself as your future self, like imagining, okay, like what does future Alita do? Like her oldest, wisest self, what would she come back here and tell 27-year-old Alita? And then there's been times too that it's like, okay, well, if I am processing something that I went through as a kid, then I show up as the wife and the mom that I am today. And I go and comfort my younger self. And it makes me so emotional every time because even if we don't think we've made much progress in our lives, you can look back even just to, I don't know, when you're 8 or 10 or 15 or 16, whatever. And you just see like how much you have grown regardless. Like literally you've grown, you've gained more experience at some point in your life, but you just love that person that you were so much more than you ever loved yourself during that time. And it really like gives you a sense of that feeling when you call upon like your higher self to come and treat your current self as you do your younger self. You know, it's like you just scoop them up and hold them and like you advocate for them and you talk back to the bullies and you give them that wise advice that like, you know, in the back of your head. And it's just all of the different experiences that you've had accumulatively throughout your life that give you those like wiser things that you are going to learn as you get older. anyways, but it's been one of the most healing things, because now some of my most traumatic and scary memories that I've ever had, I've been able to process. And now there's some, I'm not going to say like my fondest per se, but there's some of the better memories now that I think back on. And I now don't feel like the loneliness or the scaredness that when I think of those memories typically comes to mind. Now it's more of like, I feel empowered and comforted knowing that I have resolved that memory with my current self, comforting my younger self and being there for her, because it makes it less hard, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's like all so big, and I don't know if I said that like well, but that's how
you explained that perfectly.
Oh, good. Okay.
Like that to me, that explanation right there, that is good.
Oh,
therapy.
Good. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is like, even hearing you talk about that, I'm like envisioning myself as a kid. I'm sure everyone listening is like envisioning themselves as kids.
Yeah.
Now. And no, that's really sweet. Like I saw you getting emotional. It made me feel emotional. Like that's really a good way to look at things.
Yeah.
You're taking your power back.
Now having little kids, like this therapy has opened up my eyes so much to seeing myself as a younger girl and knowing the way that like I would talk to her and the way that I would comfort her. And I feel like it's made me such a better mom, because now I see Jovi or I see Tommy crying about whatever it is the situation is. And I now treat them the way that I wish I was approached and treated. And if I lash out, let's say in a way that I was, like disciplined or something as a kid that I really like I didn't like, and that I've processed myself, I can see that, I catch it, and then I can change it. And I really feel like that is the key to becoming like a great parent, is working through your own shit that you dealt with and changing that for your next generation, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I'm adding one more thing to this. Yeah. But another healing part of the therapy that I've done is, because I have so many traumatic memories as a kid, just remembering that all of your knowing that all of your memories are only 50% true, because there's two sides to every story. Your side can be completely true to you, but it doesn't mean that that's always the way that it happened. Because the way that, for example, Jovi, like let's say I didn't make her the lunch that she wanted, or she told me she wanted one thing, I gave her a different thing. That is so dead, like terrible to her. Mm-hmm. That's not the way that I experienced the situation of making her the wrong lunch.
Exactly. Two things can be true at once in any situation.
But to her, she could have felt that as like, I didn't hear her, I didn't see her, I didn't acknowledge or whatever. Mm-hmm. When to me, I'm like, girl, like you eat this every other day. Like, let's change it up. You know? Anyways, so that's another thing that was like very comforting. Just because, all the things.
That's a good point to make too, because my mom and I actually today were talking about when you're a kid, when you're Jovi's age, when you're that little, everything, you take things in so much more sensitively. I think back, because I saw a lady today, I'm like, oh, that looks like a teacher from my elementary school. And I was like, wait, I don't like her. And then I'm like, why don't I like her? It's because she yelled at me when I was a kid for no reason. And it's like, as a kid, you remember those things because it's so upsetting to you.
Yeah.
And so I think that's so awesome that like you're so aware of that and looking at that sides, because I do feel like kids, like they take things to heart.
Yeah.
Like your sandwich is wrong, they're devastated.
Yeah. It wasn't just that it was wrong. It's that it's been wrong for the last 5 times that I changed my mind last minute. And like, oh my gosh, like that can get deep.
Yeah. And so, no, I think it's so true. Yeah. As a kid. And so like, I feel like, you just got to work through your own things, because as a kid, you do hold on to those things and you go back to that feeling you had when you were that little girl, when you experienced those things as a little girl, you go back to that headspace. And I love that you do that in your therapy. That is really, really cool.
Like that's what I freaking needed. Like after doing, like I've done EMDR, I've done a bunch of other types of therapy that like tap like different parts of your brain and do all the different things. But this one has been, I always like the most simple in a way, but the most profound.
Yeah.
For me.
No, I'm like amazed by that. That is so cool.
Thanks. It's been so fun. Kind of.
It's hard. Trauma therapy is hard because
you
have to go through the emotions you have to go back to that space to heal.
Yeah.
And so trauma therapy can be painful, but also so amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, my mom, I asked her because I said we're recording. My mom, I've always said this growing up. I feel like my mom is a therapist for me. She was the mom when friends would come over and ask Jenny for advice.
Yeah.
My mom she would say no. Oh my gosh, no. But she really does have the best advice. And so when I told her about this episode, I asked her, I was like, well, what's something you learned in therapy that you liked? And so I want to share what she said because I really liked it. So she said that you don't have to have a reason to feel a certain way. You just know that you feel that way and it's okay. Don't have judgment. If you feel a certain way and you can't figure out, why am I feeling this way? Like, I'm so annoyed. Like, you feel that way. That's okay. Let it be.
Yeah.
Work through those emotions. Don't just sit in it, but work through it. It's okay. You don't have to you don't have to have a reason
to justify
exactly
the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I really like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Something that I've learned through this type of therapy that I've been doing is physical responses to emotional feelings. That, like, for example, when I'm processing with Tiffany, my therapist, she's like, okay, she first asked me to think back to a memory, just whatever it is that first comes to mind, or whatever it is. And then I start talking to her about it, and then she's like, okay, let's tap in. Like, what are you feeling? And then I tell her, like, okay, well, I have a pit in my stomach, my hands are ice, and like my chest is hot. And then she can tell me what those physical responses to these emotional feelings that I'm having mean and like how they tie together. And so then she'll say, like, okay, say my chest feels hot. And then I repeat her, and my hands are ice and I have a pit in my stomach. I am feeling this, or like I am feeling stressed, or I am feeling scared. I am feeling whatever the feelings are that accumulate to all of those. And that's been so interesting because I don't mean to sound annoying, but like I'm like an easily triggered person. Like, I'll be driving on the freeway and all of a sudden I'll get a pit in my stomach. My chest feels hot and my hands are ice. And I'm like, what the frick? Yeah. What's going on? Why do I feel so stressed? Or like, why am I getting so anxious?
Yeah.
And so it's been nice to acknowledge what that feeling is, rather than just be like, oh, like just calling myself like anxious person or someone that's depressed or whatever, because these feelings arise. But it's knowing then I can look at my environment and think, okay, like, did I almost get hit by someone? Or, oh, it's always when I'm driving on the 24. Oh, I know why I feel that way. Like, because this is a familiar feeling for me at one point in my life. And so, like, driving on the same freeway, and it's always the exact same spot on the exact same freeway. It happens every time. And so that's just like been something very interesting to be able to acknowledge the different feelings that are happening as a physical response.
Yeah.
And connecting those has been really cool.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yeah. Because it's like our body tells us what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And I think that to the point that one of our listeners wrote in to like talking to yourself, I always say, like, you're safe.
Yeah.
You're safe.
Yep.
And like, I feel like that really does help when I get in those moments too.
That's what I tell myself every time I get in the cold plunge, that I'm safe and I'm doing this voluntarily.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're staying this long and you're into therapy, come cold plunge. It's great for the mental health.
I'll give you a free cold plunge if you listen to this episode.
Yeah, no, it's so good.
Yeah. Do you have any other ones?
I do. Okay, I'm almost done though. Okay, this is one of my very favorite things that my therapist talked to me about, because it's just for like me personally. I'm a very emotional, sensitive person, and I've always been told growing up, you're too sensitive, you're like all these things, and I always felt like something's wrong with me. Like, why am I like so affected by this? Why there are just so many situations. And so when I talked to my therapist, she's like, so I'm a Christian. And so is my therapist. So we relate a lot of things to the church we both go to. We both believe in Jesus and God. And so we relate a lot of things to that. And so she gave me an example. She's like, Jesus was a sensitive. Like that's a Christ-like trait. And that made me feel a lot better. And she said also, like, you can't let people walk all over you. She said there's a difference between being nice and kind.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was kind, but Jesus wasn't nice. Jesus was kind to his core. He loved, but he had boundaries.
Yeah.
He was firm. And that's the way to be, because if you're kind and nice, you're going to get walked over. You're going to get taken advantage of. And that to me was like a big, like, whoa, I can be kind and be firm at the same time. And that was huge for me too, as well, relating it to Christ, because I am a Christian. And so that was like something that like really clicked in my brain.
Oh, I love that. You told me that after I had just like last month when I needed that with some boundaries and things.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Okay. My last one that I'm going to share is just learning how much trauma actually like affects your bodily functions, including your skin. Because I've said this a bazillion times and I'll say it again till I'm blue in the face. Your body is either healing or it's stressing, and it cannot and will not do both things at the same time. And we need to teach it what to prioritize, because the two functions in our body are fight or flight or rest and digest. Though, like,
Wow.
take your pick.
Wow.
And if your body's not resting and digesting, it's not healing. And so if you're someone that's experienced a lot of trauma in your life, or even, and like when I say trauma, I mean all kinds of trauma, whether it's death or abuse or divorce, whatever, or if it's something like a time that you felt embarrassed or not heard or shame, whatever it is, like little things add up and they are a spider web that connect into much larger issues. And if you don't clear those up, your body remembers every single event that has ever happened to it. And if you don't clear it, you are holding on to that. And I have had clients, especially my hair scan clients, who they'll pull emotions or they'll pull brain on their hair scan, and they start doing therapy, and suddenly they're able to go to the bathroom. Wow. After having experienced
I believe
a loss, whether it was like a miscarriage or they had some sort of abuse, and suddenly their bowels start working again. And it is so powerful. Like, our mind is the most powerful thing that we have.
It is.
It is so freaking strong. And to be able to give it the space to heal, like, it's like a muscle. And if you're working out your body and then not giving your muscles recovery time, you're going to run yourself to the ground and you're never going to grow muscle mass. Same with your brain. If you're not giving your brain time to rest and regroup, it will never develop fully. And that's something that I literally learned this last week, because I'm like, why do I feel like my brain is still 12? Like, I feel like for some situations, I'm like, I feel very emotionally immature. And a lot of like studies have shown like the time that you experience the most trauma is like kind of the age that you're capped at for a while until you're healed.
Yeah, it's where you go back when you're with those emotions from how you felt at that time.
Yes.
You're stuck at that. I know I've heard this from therapists.
Yeah.
My aunt's a therapist and she's talked to me about this.
It's insane.
It's a real thing.
And so if you're not coaching your brain and like either exercising, like if you're really not like doing the work and going and putting in the efforts to heal it, you can't expect it to just regulate itself, because if you don't have the tools, how are you to do that?
Amen.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's been very interesting to see how much even that's affected my client's skin by clearing up trauma. It's insane.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I feel it in my gut. That's why I have to stretch my stomach.
Yes.
Like you feel cold hands.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like I get sweaty hands.
Yes.
I get dry mouth if I'm in a social. You've seen me have social anxiety. We all have, like, you feel it. And that's what's also hard too, because there are some people who just are so fortunate to not experience anxiety, depression, different things like that. And like, my husband is so blessed. He doesn't experience those type of things. So I try to explain it in a way like, no, it's like physical symptoms too. Like it's not just like get out of your head. Like just stop thinking about that. Like you feel a physical response as well. So I think that's so cool that like therapy can help those physical responses and that you can come do cold plunges. You can do sauna. You can heal your body and brain at the same time.
Yes. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I've become so fond of cold plunging, because I remember like one of the first times that Ryder ever cold plunged, I was explaining to him like this crushing feeling that you have in every bone in your body and like the inability to breathe, that is what anxiety feels like. That is what I've experienced majority of my life. And so for me now to be able to go in the cold plunge and just know how to breathe, like that, I could not have done that. Like when I first started cold plunging was debilitating. I could not do it. And it was so freaking hard because I felt that feeling all day long and it was just adding to my stress. Yeah. And so the fact that now, I mean, I'm not a pro at it, but now I can get in and regulate my breath so much more easily. Yeah. Like I feel so proud of myself every time that I do it because I know that like I've taught myself how to breathe. Yeah. And how to do it quickly. And anyways,
it's powerful.
It's so powerful. So yeah, I've loved this episode so far.
No, me too. This episode is getting me all in my feels. I have one last one.
Yes.
That I'll share that my therapist shared with me. And that is that emotion is information. And it's similar to the other one I mentioned earlier that my mom said you don't always know why you're feeling a certain way. But you know, like if you're feeling a certain way, it's not for no reason. You're not crazy. Yeah. I've definitely gone down that rabbit hole where I'm like, I'm just crazy. My brain is making things up, but you feel things for a reason and to not be hard on yourself.
I love such a great episode, guys.
I know. I'm like, wait, should we do this quarterly now?
I know we should. We should have my sister on.
We should have her on.
She is a phenomenal human and has so many, like such an eloquent speaker, so many good words of advice, but she's a trauma integration therapist.
She seems so good for that. I've met Lita's sister once. I met her at the grand opening and I talked to her for a minute, and just talking to her, I felt like I could trust you, and I feel like I could like spill my guts to you and like feel so safe with you. Like she's in the right field for sure. She has that presence to her.
She was also a hairstylist, so you can imagine like she's just always been that person that people can talk to and has always had good insight. Like even before she was ever a therapist, like she was my go-to person. And I mean, I still do see her for therapy when I don't get in with my normal one. So maybe we'll have her on. Maybe I'll give her a little message and see if she can come on sometime soon. Yeah. But that'll be good.
Yeah. Let us know if you like this episode, because I mean, for me, this was really fun to record.
Yeah.
We like this. So if you enjoyed it, let us know, because I would love to do more of these.
Same. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for listening to today's episode. We love you guys so much. Make sure you guys go watch us on YouTube. And if you can, subscribe so that you guys get notified when we post. And follow us on Instagram at the Skin Club Podcast. And if you guys have any recommendations for us, please feel free to message us on Instagram. And we have so many fun things coming soon with a very special person that most of you probably already know who it is. Or will very soon once we do a little sneak peek.
Yes, she's an icon in our industry and we're collaborating. So...
yeah, we're excited. Okay, well, we love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.